That was so much fun. I love Winona Lake, and I'm so excited that we got to take a boat ride today.
Absolutely, and it's going to be great to be able to talk about this house behind us. I love this historic Williamsburg style. It is such a great custom home.
Now, Luke, we've been doing Secchi reading all day.
Yep.
And
4.8.
We're seeing an average of 4.8 feet on the Secchi rating here. Now, the higher the number, the higher the clarity of the water. So to get that reading, they take several different readings on both the sunny side and the shade side of the boat, and they're all around the lake as well. So they have a really comprehensive measure to get the clarity of the water there.
Right, and when it comes to lakes, you really have to pay attention to the foundation. So this house, for example, we did piling foundation, and on this one we did a wood piling foundation. Look kind of like telephone poles being driven into the ground. And it's all around the house and through the interior. Now we build about at least a dozen homes every year on lakes. So we're very familiar with the piling foundation system. We actually partnered with Camden out of Warsaw for this one in particular. Great partner. And we use steel and wood pilings depending on the situation.
Right. When it comes to building on the lake, it is a challenge, but we are up to the challenge. You know, there's topography, there's the size of the lot, and then the foundations, as Luke said, a lot of times when we go for the pilings, we're actually going down and fishing for a real good soil. And speaking of fishing, if you don't mind, I'm going to step over here and do a little fishing.
Absolutely.
Well, while Lonnie reels in that fish, let's talk about this home and the architectural style. This has everything, and when it is finished, it's going to be absolutely beautiful. We have over 60 double hung windows. We have a built-up front porch with a built-up cornice around the entire home. We also have an entablature and the columns. Look at all of the columns.
You guys are talking about the house. I got the privilege of going around this lake. Do you know how big this is? This Winona Lake is 562 acres, average depth 30 feet, but its deepest is 70. I almost fell into that part. I got my reel stuck in the sand. They've got a beautiful beach around this. Did you guys know that Warsaw is known as the lakes? I mean, the lakes. You know why? They've got a bunch of lakes around here. For instance, there is Winona Lake, of course. Up to the north of that, you've got Pike Lake. You've got Center Lake.
Yep.
Also, there's one called, I'll talk to you later, Hidden Lake.
Okay.
Now, Kosciuszko County, they're kind of boastful.
Yeah.
And they're boasting that they have over 100 lakes in just Kosciuszko County alone. Let's just name a few.
Well, what about Chapman? Big Chapman and Little Chapman.
Oh, that's right. In fact, that's barely outside of Warsaw. Now, here's a big one. Oh, Tippecanoe Lake. They call that, by the way, Tippy Lake.
Yep.
Also, Wawasee.
Of course.
Nationally known, 3,000 acres. What else do we have?
Well, my personal favorite, Hoffman Lake. And I know we've built probably 10 homes on there over the years.
Yeah.
That's just because of your last name. We also have Syracuse Lake.
Yep.
The Barbie Chain.
Yes.
Okay, and there's a lot of lakes. We're going to talk a little bit about that later, but I think I'm going to probably go ahead and try to measure one of these lakes, another one.
Okay, guys, the lakes are great, but we need to talk about this lake home that we are building because it is absolutely gorgeous. The architect did an amazing job with the whole entire layout of this house that really takes advantage of the lake views with all of the windows, the patio doors. So much of this is great detail in this historic Williamsburg style. I really love all the things that we're doing.
Wait, speaking of that, I got a good fun fact for you on this house. There's 60 windows. How many square feet do you think of windows they have?
Oh, that's a lot. A lot of window washing.
1,000 square feet. Wow. That's pretty big.
Yeah, that's as big as the garage on this house, right?
Wow.
Now, I'll one up that, Tony. We did over 4,000 studs for this house and over 400 sheets of OSB. So there's a lot of material that went into
That's a lot.
Yeah.
You know, I've been going all around this lake area today, checking out everything, going all over Winona, and this place is just amazing with everything they have. And I was also going down memory lane going, oh yeah, we built that house. Oh yeah, we built that house. Oh, we built a house on Winona Island. This is such a cool area that we've done things with. And I found out that also Winona Lake used to be known as Eagle Lake. And in the early 1900s, this was almost the capital of the Bible Belt. We had Billy Sunday here. This was actually the beginning place for Reverend Billy Graham. And then Winona has one of my favorite festivals. It's the Fat, Skinny, and Tired Festival. But then I found out it wasn't about guys like us. It was more for bicyclists and the Tire, Fat, Skinny, Tire Festival.
Okay.
Yeah, I got excited for it, man.
Hey, you want to go to Wawasee and try to measure that one?
Yeah, let's go do that.
A couple days.
What's only
All right.
3,000
The
acres?
details that you guys have been pointing out here about this house is so amazing, so beautiful, and so many of the windows facing this beautiful Winona Lake. What is it, 562 acres out here?
Yep.
Absolutely amazing. What architectural style do you really see this as being?
Well, Izzy, this home is a stunner. This is inspired by the Williamsburg style.
Nice.
And you can see the proportion, the scale, it's all spot on.
Well, and the beautiful part is the whole Winona Lake village is kind of known for this kind of beautiful architectural style. You see it everywhere, and it's even been described as a fairy tale book type area because all the houses look like you could just pluck them and put them right into a fairy tale book.
Speaking of that Hamlet story, I just came from the village of Winona. It is so amazing and quaint, so much fun. Did you know it was named the most charming town in Indiana by HGTV? Also one of the top 10 best small towns in the entire Midwest by Travel and Leisure magazine. It has everything you need. It has shopping, it has restaurants, it has parks, it has shopping, it has
Ice cream.
Shopping.
Ice cream.
shopping. I'm a little distracted by all the shopping. Look at the haul that I got. It was so, oh, can I have, Tony, I've got your credit card back for you.
Wait,
Yeah.
you're right.
So much great shopping. Yes, you should really go check it out.
Well, now it seems like every time we keep trying to talk about the house, we keep coming back to Winona Lake, and she just said ice cream, so I think we need to go check out the rest of what Winona Lake has to offer.
We're in.
Yep.
I have
Yep.
Tony's credit card. Let's go.
We're in. All right, Lonnie,
Don't
did you
worry
pitch?
about
It's already
catching up to dinner. We got
maxed out
plenty of
now,
restaurants.
but
Welcome to Between the Studs. We are Granite Ridge Builders, custom builders serving northern Indiana, northwest Ohio, and also parts of southern Michigan. We have been building custom homes for almost 2 decades, and we're really passionate about what we do. So join us today as we explore the processes, the trends, and also tips that characterize today's new home. Thanks for watching.
Welcome back. We are located on the southeast corner of Warsaw, Indiana in Kosciuszko County. We're at a quaint little village called the Village of Winona Lake. We're right on this 564-acre gorgeous lake, and there's lots of historic shops.
This area is so amazing. It is nationally known for its shopping, restaurants, recreation, and it's even an event destination.
Like I said earlier, HGTV named it one of the top 10 most charming cities in Indiana, also one of the top 10 small cities in the Midwest, and recently it was named one of the top 12 cities in the country for families. Also, it clearly has the Charity Freeman seal of approval. And if we could hurry up and get this done, I got some more shopping to do.
That's true. Well, you might have noticed we've got a really good gentleman sitting right over here in between Luke and Lonnie. This is Patrick Martin. He is vice president of our company, and he does a lot of the building in this area. So I think you said that you built quite a few homes on the lake.
Yes, we actually built one right across the channel.
And I think it's really exciting today that we get to feature an incredibly brand new home that we're building on the Winona Lake. And we call it kind of a historic Williamsburg style home with incredible architectural features. You got to see it.
And we're sitting here in Winona Lake Village, and look at the architectural styles, the historical buildings. It's a quaint community, just a great place to be.
Yeah, I mean, just look around us here. Just off this channel here, there's 20 Victorian style homes that were renovated into shops and service plazas, and it's really beautiful. If you've never been down here, you definitely need to come check it out. Now, there's also some 1907 Queen Anne style homes. They have the turrets, the wraparound porches, and those are beautiful. They're built by the Byers brothers. We also have a 1887 hotel, has a Second Empire style mansard roof. It's beautiful, you have to see that. And in 1911, arts and crafts bungalow called Mount Hood by the famous preacher and baseball player, Billy Sunday.
Well, we were just talking about the Byers brothers that came here in the 1880s. And there were 3 brothers that owned a dairy production farm. And they were drawn here because of the artisan springs that were here that actually produced a natural refrigeration in the area.
And it was a few years later in 1887 that those Byer brothers bought 160 acres off the shore of what was known as Eagle Lake then, and they opened up the Spring Fountain Resort, which included a hotel and also a racetrack and even a roller coaster.
And in the early 1900s, the Winona area became nationally known and a huge center for the evangelical Bible movement and the Chautauqua religious movement, which was based on 4 pillars. It was art, education, recreation, and religion.
And people like Benjamin Harrison, Admiral Richard Byrd, Helen Keller, and James Whitcomb Riley are some of the people who visited here and actually spoke on occasion in Winona Lake.
That was an amazing group.
It
So,
was.
those.
And thanks to the building of the canal, some of the homes, the cottages, this brought a lot of people to the area. So it was a popular destination for conferences, vacations, any sort of seasonal retreat.
And you know what? Tourism became huge back then.
Yeah.
And think about it. A lot of people in the South didn't have air conditioning, so they would come up to these areas in the summer, make their homes here. Yeah, it became a very, very amazing tourist attraction for around the country.
Yeah, so by 1905, it became officially Winona Lake, and that was when the golden age kind of took over for the next 10 years, and over 250,000 people would come vacation here on a very regular basis. And it was during that time that the evangelist Billy Sunday built a home in the nearby village, and because of him, Winona Lake became a haven for the religious community.
And Billy Sunday actually grew up in Iowa. He's in a very poor family. He actually spent a few years in an orphanage.
Oh.
And then he did have some athletic abilities, and he became a professional baseball player for the Chicago White Stockings.
Not Stockings.
Okay. And he wasn't so good at the bat, but he was tremendously fast, and he was also known for stealing bases. And it's said that when he spoke here, sometimes he would jump up on the platform and literally slide to the podium to make a point.
But did I hear that he also threw chairs, kind of like somebody
He
else?
did.
Oh,
100%.
Very energetic. Very energetic.
I know what
guy.
I remember.
So Billy Sunday moved to Winona Lake in 1911. He converted to evangelical Christianity in the 1880s after his baseball career was over. He spoke out against alcohol during Prohibition. He played a major part in the adoption of the 18th Amendment in 1919. He was openly against divorce, appearing in films, dancing, drinking, and the theory of evolution. He once said that whiskey and beer are okay in the right place.
Ooh.
And that right place is hell.
Hold on.
To him, I would say the right place is the beer in your left hand and the whiskey in the right. So
And
you
can get
decide.
that right down the street. Now, the interesting thing was when he was preaching, they used to describe his style as a mixture of Billy Graham and Jerry Lee Lewis, the Thriller.
Yeah.
You know, people think you were joking a minute ago when they were talking about breaking the chairs.
Yeah.
They were going to a service and they were actually seeing if he was going to break a chair in the service.
Wow.
Every week. He broke so many chairs.
Sounds like he woke up the audience, though.
Sounds like a wrestling match.
Something I found very fascinating was from 1907 to 1918. In 12 years, he earned $1.1 million. Now, that is 87 times the amount that an average worker earned. They usually earned $13,000 in that same 12 years. So for a religious leader, that was absolutely unheard of.
Crazy.
In today's dollars, that's $1.8 million per year.
Super interesting. During a 6-week revival, he preached 95 sermons, drew over 250,000 people, making it one of the largest draws in history.
He lived to be 72 years old. He died in 1935, and he preached until his death, even after he'd been advised not to preach anymore because he had had a mild heart attack.
And unfortunately, the last few years that he lived, you said he was 72, so the last 4 or 5 years were marred with tragedy. His daughter died about 3 years before he did with multiple sclerosis. His 3 sons, unfortunately, did everything that he preached against. And they said it was well known that his sons were womanizers and drinking, and it marred him. And also financially, in 1929, it was a depression. Well, obviously, financially, they were hurting. So again, a great, great gentleman, but marred with tragedy at the very end of his life.
Now, even after Billy's death, this area still was a major religious hub. And in 1944, the Youth for Christ movement started here. And then in 1949, the Reverend Billy Graham came and preached at the Billy Sunday Tabernacle.
Now, we'd be doing ourselves a disservice if we didn't mention the largest college in this area as well, Grace College and Seminary.
So there was a seminary here first, and then out of the seminary came Grace College. And they offer 6 different career paths, and those are the School of Art and Science, the School of Behavioral Science, well, I need that one, the School of Business, the School of Education, the School of Ministry, which is part of the seminary's work, and the School of Professional and Online Education. They are an incredible place to study for the ministry or for one of these other careers that's located in our area.
Here's one of the interesting things that I found out about this when we were studying. I had no idea. Grace College actually takes up over 180 acres in this area with everything that they have. The other interesting fact about the whole thing is I didn't know they had over 2,000 students, and they offer an extensive education degrees plus The great sports program. No idea. Grace's motto is character, competence, and service. Their nickname is the Lancer. And the mascot is the famous Sir Red, standing at over 6 foot 6 inches tall, always wearing full body armor.
Wow.
Go Sir Red.
I've seen it. It's a fun one, too. Hey, now, guess what? Charity, this is your time. She has been waiting to shop.
Yay.
So, I think what we need to do now is show our audience what this place has. And I think Charity might know every single one of them, so we can always get our advice from her.
go.
All right, guys, let's do it.
Let's go.
At least one bag from each place, right?
All right, Mike, well, we've been in this town for a few hours now, and it's clear to see why this town has been named to so many awards for one of the best small towns in the United States. This town really has it all. I mean, I've seen lots of walking trails. There's a great river greenway system here. There is mountain bike trails. There is beaches, splash pads, restaurants, shopping. I mean, really, it truly has everything in a very small area.
Yeah, Luke, it's a hidden gem. And as we've got to tour the city a little bit, we're seeing why people come here. I've never been here before today, but I'll definitely be coming back. You know, this city hosts concerts, weddings, all sorts of events. Like you said, there's nature areas. There's a little bit of everything for everyone here. So let's go through the list and kind of show people what there is to do here.
Yeah, so we have the Hillside Amphitheater. It's a beautiful open air setting for concerts and performers.
Yeah, and then there's a large outdoor event center. It's called Miller Sunset Pavilion. It was inspired by the original Billy Sunday Tabernacle, and it sets on the same land as the original tabernacle, which is amazing.
And then the Lakeside Chapel, it's great for weddings and events.
Yeah, the Swan Pond and Circle Foundation Park, which is where we're at right now, this is a beautiful little area.
The Heritage Trail is Winona's portion of the Lake City Greenway. This paved trail, which goes through the village of Winona along the shore of the lake and into the woods over Cherry Creek. It features many beautiful sculptures along the way, and each leg of the trail has a different theme. So for example, the art side of the trail is going to be on the north side, and then there's sculptures which represent Winona's lake unique's history.
The next thing that you have to see if you come to Winona Lake is the History Center. Now, it tells the story of a beautiful Winona Lake from 1895 to 1968. The museum includes 4 galleries located within historic Westminster Hall on the campus of Grace College. Now, visitors will learn about the development of the Spring Fountain Park, Winona's significance as the Chautauqua site, the energetic evangelist Billy Sunday, and gospel music's pioneer Homer Roadheaver.
And then, you know, we could keep going on, but probably the last one we want to highlight is the Winona Lake Limitless Park, beach and splash pad. It offers a playground, beach, swimming area, splash pad. They also offer tennis courts, pickleball courts, a pavilion, picnic tables. They've got a grassy field. It's perfect for a family outing. And you can also rent canoes, kayaks, paddle boards, and the park is designed so it's accessible for all.
Now, Luke, it's pretty easy to see why we're building so many homes in this area, why people are flocking to this community, but I think we need to spend a little time and check out this Swan Pond
Yeah,
here.
and the pavilion right behind it.
The village of Winona is world-renowned for its unique shopping experience right here on the shores of the lake.
And right now we're standing right here in front of the Mucky Duck. This has some great home accents, but there's a lot of other stores along this strip we want to talk about.
Stores like the Beaded Peacock, it's a bead shop. It has a great selection of stone and glass beads, as well as some handmade jewelry.
And then Beloved, full of handcrafted jewelry, pottery, plants, and great finds to give as gifts.
My husband would love the Canal Street Market because it's a foodie's paradise. They have specialty food items, gourmet teas, and spices.
And then for the athlete, Cloud9 Multisport, lifestyle store that focuses on running, walking, and even standing.
I know you love the Lake House. It's a surf shop, marina, and water sports store. They offer popular and exciting apparel and accessories for men, women, and kids. Also a marina that provides water sports equipment, fuel, bait, and boating accessories.
And then, of course, Letterwood Paper Company. They have greetings and a gift studio with note cards, art prints, some lifestyle items, journals, sketching tools, puzzles, candles, and more.
The Luxe Studio and Boutique is a place I need to visit today because they do contemporary hairstyling, and I need that. This weather is making my hair crazy. They also have women's apparel, accessories, and jewelry.
And then Mud Love, locally crafted clay products. All purchases provide 1 week of safe, clean water in need.
You can get them online too. I've ordered from them before. Nine Pines Apothecary has carefully handcrafted and sourced soaps and skincare products that are made from the highest quality of natural ingredients.
And then for the chef, the Olive Branch, seller of fine extra virgin olive oil from around the world, as well as balsamic vinegars from Italy, aged 12 to 18 years.
How about Port Winona? It's a wine shop and marketplace for meat, cheeses, and small grocery items.
And then if you're crafty, the Pottery Bayou, a paint-your-own pottery studio.
Everybody loves Rocket Fizz. They have thousands of bottled soda pops and candies from all over America.
And then for your pictures, the Signature Studio, portrait studio specializing in bringing your family to life with unique lighting, natural settings, and custom designs.
Trailhouse Village Bicycles has bikes, accessories, apparels, components, and bike care.
And finally, Winona Mercantile, unique one-of-a-kind gifts including nostalgic candy, jewelry, and Indiana's favorite brands. Okay, well, I have my husband's credit card.
I may or may not have raided some people's wallets here. So.
Let's go.
Okay,
let's go.
Let's do it.
Hey, Tony, I love this bungalow-style home.
It's gorgeous. It's beautiful how they redid this, yes.
Hey, after you've checked out all the mini venues here in the town, and also you've shopped, before you drop, we got to look at the restaurants. Got to check them out.
We definitely need to look at all the restaurants. And here at the Village of Winona, we have a plethora of them. Lonnie, why don't we just start rattling some off?
But not too much detail because I get hungry.
Gotcha.
Let's try it.
So Lonnie, let's start off with one of the new ones, and that is the Cerulean Restaurant. The Cerulean Restaurant is this Asian-inspired restaurant, but it's got kind of a Midwest little twist to it all.
Then there's the Boathouse Restaurant. You talk about incredible food, but it's not just food, but it's also the view.
Light Rail Cafe and coffee. It was amazing. We went in there this morning and immediately Charity and Elizabeth were like, ooh, I really like this place. It's so cute. And the coffee was amazing.
Then there's Port Winona Wine and Market. You can enjoy the products.
That's right behind us.
That's right behind us
That's
here.
right behind us.
Incredible products, incredible things to buy.
And I don't know if you noticed, but our boss, Tony, he kind of went off to the side and he went to that social ice cream and sandwich shop.
Very tasty place. Then there's also a lot of interesting places, buildings to also visit here.
The Blue Heron offers a rare kind of relaxation that can only be found on the peaceful shores of Winona Lake. This is a historical, elegant community, immaculately restored in this 1906 Queen Anne style home. This place is just fantastic.
And Tony, then there's also 9 old famous hotels. They're not open yet, but you can still experience them.
For example, you've got the Franciscan Hotel, which is now a private residence, the Westminster Hotel, which was repurposed as Grace College Westminster Hall, and is now the Winona History Center. One thing about Between the Studs and our show and talking about these communities is because there's a lot of new construction going on right now. There's a lot of new building. There's a lot of new jobs taking place in these communities, and we need to grow the communities, and we really want to focus in on letting people know what all is available for them in these communities like Winona Lake, and the food is just part of it.
It really is, and Tony, just talking about it is making me hungry. Let's go. Do you have a credit card?
You're buying. Charity has my credit card. I don't know how that happened.
Well, at Granite Ridge, we pride ourselves on being a custom experts on lake home building. We love designing lake homes. We love decorating lake homes. So here's some of our favorites that we have gotten to do over the years.
Kayla, when we look at a house, most times we think about the front elevation as being the most important, the premier appearance that we're looking for. But when we're talking about lake properties, it is the lakeside elevation that is the most important.
Izzy, I love this lakeside elevation here because we've really captured the essence of a lake home. The most important thing is the view, and we've really made sure to emphasize that with windows. Double stack windows all across, and then we have this 2-story home, making sure that we have plenty of outdoor living space, huge deck, and I love that we've terraced the landscaping to really take advantage of the lot.
It really is. A lot of times lake properties are going to be inspired by Frank Lloyd Wright in the way that the house is meant to fit into the surroundings and accentuate nature instead of being something that stands out kind of like a sore thumb. So a lot of times we're really going to see this terraced look on a lot of these lake properties, really trying to take advantage of the natural surroundings and blend into it in a very natural, relaxing way.
Now this one here, I love how we have 2 separate stairs going down because again, it's so important to make sure there's great access to the lake and again, all of the windows, but we've dressed it up a little bit, adding that great strut design to create a little bit of intrigue on this lake exterior.
So when we go to the inside of these homes too, though, we have to make sure that we're maximizing the comfort level in there as well. You're going to see a lot of natural stone here because believe it or not, it does rain sometimes at the lake as well. So be able to come inside and enjoy these beautiful views from inside, maximizing again the windows on the inside or the view from the inside just as much.
Now I love that we really put some focus on the kitchen designs for these lake homes because it's really about entertaining. So we want to make sure we have large islands. Some great trim work is really a way to emphasize the lake. Large expansive ceilings and great light fixtures are really going to enhance all of the feelings of being at the lake.
Decks are a major feature on lake houses, and so typically, again, we're going to make sure that you've got a view from that deck. We're trying to, again, not impede that view with the materials that we're using, and the materials we have today are making that even easier and easier.
Now these decks that we were showing are absolutely spectacular. It's wonderful to have some great composite material for low maintenance, some beautiful rail systems here, and my absolute favorite is glass railing because then you can capture every single part of your view without anything in the way. And don't forget to maybe have a little bit of extra fun putting a fireplace, a built-in grill. You can really do so much with these great outdoor decks.
So if this has brought you inspiration looking at all these lake homes, come find us. Let me build your lake house because we know the difference between the lakefront and the road front. We can help you find out all these specifics, get the right amount of windows, accentuate your lake cottage, and build your dream home with Granite Ridge Builders.
So today was a lot of fun, but we have to close. But before we close, I do want to thank Patrick, our special guest on this show. We love building on lakes. We love building in Kosciuszko County. And again, thank you, Patrick, for being here.
Well, I know this was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed all these shops. I know my favorite is definitely Treats Ice Cream. I had 2 or 3 sets of different ice cream. Loved it.
The coolest place in this town is Rocket Fizz, though.
Ooh.
Rocket Fizz has all these different type of pops and candies. And if you have a candy that you liked from the 50s and 60s and you don't think they have it anymore, go into Rocket Fizz. I bet you they still have it.
If you know your way around the kitchen, though, you got to make your way over to the olive branch. They have fine olives, extra virgin olive oil over there, balsamic vinegars. Anything that you want for your cooking needs, you're going to find it there.
Well, I like the lake house. If you like to be out on the lake, this is a water sports store for you. It's a surf store. So great place to get all of your equipment for out on the water.
I did a lot of shopping. I needed a little caffeine, update. So yeah, the light rail, this Americano, splendid.
Well, we're right across from a Port Winona wine and marketplace. I mean, wine, anybody? That sounds perfect to me.
Yep.
And if sake and sushi are the thing you like, head out to the Cerulean restaurant.
Kayla, getting late. Would you close for us?
Hey, thank you all so much for joining us today. If you'd like to learn a little bit more about who we are, what we do, and why we do what we do so well, please pick up the phone and give us a call. Visit our website, or even better yet, come in our front door. We would love to talk to you about building in your area.
It's not dark
Did
yet.
they have lavender?
You've got to get
Yes.
this.
Look at the lavender. I need to do
Oh,
this
that's a good
lavender
idea,
cookie.
yeah.
So the symmetry, the proportion, this is a stunner. Oh, Williamsburg.
Yeah, not
What did I
Williamsburg.
say?
You said Williamsburg.
Well, Izzy, this home is historically correct. This is our Williamsburg. Well, Izzy, this home is historically correct. We would call this our Williamsburg style home.
Berg.
Historic Williamsburg.
This would be our Williamsburg. I'm not going to be able to say it.